Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of One on One with Dr. Brooks. I'm back in the city of Columbiana. I'm at Shelby County High School. I am thrilled today to have a conversation with two amazing students, one of which you've seen before, but another one who is new to the show. We want to talk a little bit about the production of The Little Mermaid. If you did not see The Little Mermaid at Shelby County High School, you truly missed a treat. And so today I have two of the main characters who are with me today to talk a little bit about the show, but two outstanding students. So once again to the show, I have Sarah Elizabeth Shelton. Sarah Elizabeth, welcome.
Thank you.
And to my immediate left, I have Micah Swain. Micah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So first, I need to tell you their characters. So Sarah Elizabeth played Ariel, so main character, and of course, Micah played Sebastian and was amazing as Sebastian.
Thank
His
you.
accent and his mannerisms were truly amazing. So great opportunity for you guys as students in the theater department. Um, Talk to us a little bit about what you feel like you will remember most about this production.
Do you want to go first? Okay. I think that I will remember um all of the talent that we had
Yeah,
from all of the grades, but I'm so proud of us and what we were able to do, from the talent of our choir teacher who directed the show musically, and our theater teacher who, was our director and did all of the blocking, to the costumes that we had that we
yeah.
made and pieced together, a lot of them ourselves, to
Oh wow.
everyone's vocal abilities and all the acting. I'm so proud of how everyone's strengths were so perfectly highlighted, and like it came together perfectly. And it was such a fun show to be a part of
Yeah,
too.
yeah. What about you, Micah?
Yes, like she said, it was very fun, and I loved just the colors. It's just so Disney, and I
It was
was
very Disney.
yeah, I I was a little bit when I first started as Sebastian. I was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but it was fun, being more out there and being more Disney. But like she said, a lot of talent. I think it kind of revealed how much talent we have here, not just at this school, but in Columbiana as a
Yeah,
small little town. And
sure.
and I also want to commend my class of 24, and I feel like we really showed out
Yeah,
there. I love
yeah.
my class. So yes.
Well, I think a very good point that you made is the revealing of talent, because both of you were amazing vocally in this program, and of course, Micah, you've done some things for us as a school district. You did the national anthem at our showcase of schools. Um, I know that singing means a lot to you, so tell us about some things that you do with your singing. I'm sure there are things that you do in your church and community.
Well, for over 10 years at this point, I have been going around uh, the whole state and even some parts of Georgia. But I have been singing mostly in the form of ministry and in the church. But I've done a lot of other events. What would you say, secular, or of course national anthems? And I just now got involved with the theater program, I believe maybe 2 years ago. So, but yes, I've been doing this for a little bit over 10 years. I've been just going around and singing.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. Well, and an incredible voice for sure.
thank you.
And Sarah Elizabeth, your voice was amazing as well. I was blown away. And the last time you and I spoke, we talked about, you being 11. I think I knew how, what an amazing presenter you was, but I was blown away at your voice as well. So,
Thank you.
yeah, that was great. That was great. So, um, I want each of you to tell me, and we'll start with you, Sarah Elizabeth. What do you think was your favorite scene or moment from the play?
My favorite song was Part of Your World vocally, and my favorite like musical number to be in was Under the Sea. Um, and my favorite scene was probably at the end when I get to hug Flounder and Sebastian, and then King Triton comes back in. That was probably my favorite scene.
Yeah, pretty cool. Micah, what about you?
Well, of course, most people will say Under the Sea, they like that. But my favorite scene to be a part of was uh, when King Triton walks in and I walk in behind him and he's basically he's being the father to Ariel and he's like, because what was it? Because of your careless and reckless behavior. And Sebastian comes in with careless and reckless behavior. I love that scene.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Um, so when you think about each one of the characters that you played, um, two things. We'll start with this one. What part of the character is a lot like you as an individual? So, Michael, let's start with you. What part of that character do you think is a lot like you? Sebastian.
I Sebastian, he's he's funny. I mean, I don't I've had people tell me that I'm funny,
Yeah.
but also also it's just he's kind of got a class about him as well. Like I think that was even represented with the red sparkly jacket.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
he has this way of like telling Ariel, you got to stay in line, but I still love you. And I feel like I show a lot of tough love to my friends
Oh, okay.
as well, but it's really all out of love.
Yeah.
I never want to hurt anybody, but
Right.
it's just I love my friends so much to tell them the truth, but at the same
Right.
time I'm like, oh, I still love you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And what about your character, Ariel?
I think on the surface level, I share her love of music, but on a more like character level, I'm like her. Whoa, I have the same determination. I feel like as she does.
Yeah.
She sees something that she wants and she goes after it wholeheartedly,
Mm-hmm.
and she makes some mistakes, and but it comes together in the end, and she still has a great support system, and she realizes how important that is and how thankful she is for it. And I feel like the older I get, the more I continue to realize that. So, yeah.
Sure. All right. So the second part of that is I want you to tell me what you saw in her that's like her during the course of the day when she played Ariel. And then you tell me what you saw in him that's like him during the course of the day while he was playing Sebastian. Y'all know each other.
Yes.
Y'all in the same class.
So Sarah Elizabeth in general is very theatrical. So
Right.
it's and I don't even think she knows, but she does those little lollygags a little bit, just kind of in her own world sometimes. So like when I'm reminded of the scene when she first comes in with Flounder and she's just like swimming in the ocean or whatever, and she's just spinning and stuff. That kind of gives me Sarah Elizabeth vibes. She's just yeah.
Okay. Okay.
How Sebastian is like so serious sometimes, but it's kind of funny because it's like he's such a lovable character, like Micah is, and so when he like gets upset or he's like, it's just who he is, and so it's funny to watch him like get angry. I don't know. It just they're similar in the fact that they love their friends like fearlessly. So yeah, I see that in him on a day to day.
Okay. Good deal. And you guys did 11 shows, right? Talk about talk about that and you know the grind of that. 'Cause that took up quite a bit of time for 11 shows to get done.
Well, just like from a physical standpoint, vocally, it was really hard to keep up like the stamina of that level of vocal performance, like
Right.
4 times a day at one point. It was a lot, but I feel like we were having so much fun, and the dressing rooms became our second home, like for 2 weeks, and it was really one of the best times
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
So I would have done more shows.
Yeah.
Yes, it felt like I got done with like a WWE match after I got
Oh
done. Like
gosh.
I was like I'm talking about sweaty like I got out the pool. Like
Yeah.
like it just felt like I got out the pool. It's and like she said vocally, I remember it was ironic because the one time I remember cracking was when it was filmed. So it was,
Okay.
and I think that same day was my birthday. I think we had 4 shows. And so it was that fourth show, I believe, that we filmed. And I remember making this crack on one of the high notes for Under the Sea. So yeah, it was yes, those multiple shows and they were hard songs. So it was just, it was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, when I was told that, I was just blown away because the day that I came, I think was one of the last shows, and it was impeccable. So, kudos to you both for um, surviving the grind and your voices and all of that, surviving the fatigue of doing so many shows. So the day I was here, I was as much as I was blown away by the show, I was blown away at the number of little kids who showed up in their Little Mermaid outfits and were so intrigued by the show. Talk about how special that is because, as you guys are juniors and, you have an opportunity to influence. And certainly being the characters in the show of such an amazing Disney production, there were so many kids that look up to you. What does that mean to you?
That was by far my favorite part. Getting to the school shows for the elementary schools were the best part of the whole run of the show. When I discovered theater in 8th grade, and so I never had theater in elementary school, but I did. We would walk over when the high school had productions, and I remember sitting in this auditorium and watching Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and being just so in awe of what they were doing, and like I want to do that when I go to this high school. And so it was like the most beautiful full circle moment to have little girls dressed up in these costumes and come and hug you, and that like I would really got to just be the character.
Right.
And it was the best experience. And so I hope that they will, if they want to, channel that into a love of theater as well, because it's so rewarding and I'm so thankful. It was great. It was great.
Yeah.
I never knew how good it felt to not spread love because I believe in spreading love, but to see the little kids just smile and just kind of idolize you.
Right.
And a lot of people around here know me as Micah, but I go to the store or like we had a workshop with little kids at the Arts Council, and they call me Sebastian. So
Yeah.
and it's funny because like a lot of times I don't have the same hairstyle. Like I'll have this up in a bun or I'll have braids or something like that, and they still recognize that I'm Sebastian. So they're just kind of, I know I've made their day, but it makes my day to be not idolized, but just like they think of me like that. And like she said, being little and coming here, I remember watching the plays, and it was just awesome. I've always wanted to come and watch them, and then finally, I realized like around middle school there was a connection made. I kind of wanted to know what was like backstage. What did they do
Yeah.
back there?
Yeah.
And I never really wanted to
the
be
mystery of
The
backstage.
right,
magic of
right,
it all.
right. I never really wanted to be in one, but I wanted to know what was behind the scenes. But yeah,
Okay. Well, good. Now, certainly we're talking about the production and all, but you both do a lot of other things in your school. So just give us some of the things that you're involved with here, Micah. Tell us what you're involved with.
youth leadership, Shelby County,
Mm-hmm.
and football, um, the choir,
Right.
the choir. I'm sure there's something else because I rip and run a lot, but but yes.
I'm also a part of Youth Leadership Shelby County. That workshop that he was talking about was our group 4. It was our project, and so we did it so that we could like spread a love for the arts around the county. And the Arts Council was great in letting us host it there. But sorry, that's a little off track.
Oh, no, you're good.
I'm also a part of Key Club, Beta Club, National Honor Society, the theater program, women's ensemble, and show choir. And then I'm also a peer helper. Yeah.
Okay. Lots of things you both do at the school, which is important. It's really important. And, I want to thank you both for joining me on this video podcast. Certainly, I was amazed at the show, but more so, again, as I mentioned to you previously, the time that I've gotten to get to know you both, I'm just really impressed with what you do, who you are, but more importantly, what your future will be. I just think your future is bright, and I think you have expressed to this audience, the individuals that will watch this podcast, how much you do as a student, but I think just as important, you know, the character that you exhibit and the example that you exhibit for others. It is really what we want to create in Shelby County schools, and so thank you guys both for being just an example of that. And I hope that the people who have an opportunity to see you or hear you speak today, that they will be inspired to not only be in a play, but to do other things, the things that you've all talked about, Leadership Shelby, supporting young kids. So thank you both for who you are. And thank you for representing Columbiana. Thank you for representing Shelby County High School and certainly Shelby County Schools. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So we close another episode, another example of amazing kids. I want to thank Sarah Elizabeth and Micah for joining us today. I hope if you have an opportunity to meet them or get to know them, you will let them know who you are, and you will also see how much they represent Shelby County Schools, how much they represent their community, and what a beacon of light and hope that they represent in this education space that we all love. So thank you all for joining us on this edition of One on One with Dr. Brooks, and we will see you sometime again soon. Take care.